Hey everyone, this is Scott from the Forgot to Grow podcast. Welcome to another edition of ReWatching Star Trek Discovery Season 1. Today I'm talking about episode 15, Will You Take My Hand? The season finale of the first season. So I'm just going to be starting off with the plot summary for this episode, then just talking about my general thoughts about this episode and the season overall. Let's just get started with that plot summary, which says Tyler suggests that a drone enter the dormant volcano system beneath the surface of Kronos through an entrance beneath a shrine from which it can search the planet for targets. Discovery jumps to a nearby cave and a party of Georgiou, Burnham, Tilly, and Tyler pose as traitors. Tilly discovers that the volcanic system is active and that the drone Georgiou has is a hydro bomb. Burnham confronts Cornwall, who admits that detonating the bomb in the active volcano will annihilate all life on Kronos, winning the war. Burnham insists that Stargate not commit genocide and convinces Georgiou to give up the detonator in exchange for her freedom. They give the detonator to L'Rell, who uses the threat of mass destruction to unite the Klingon houses under her leadership and end the war. The Discovery crew are hailed as heroes. Burnham is issued a full pardon and restored to the rank of commander. Tyler chooses to remain with L'Rell. As Discovery warps to Vulcan to pick up its new captain, it receives a distress call from the USS Enterprise. So that's the plot summary for this episode. I just finished rewatching this, and this is a fun episode because I did not remember a whole lot of the details of this, particularly an ending with them running into the Enterprise, which I probably should have realized considering that's part of the trailers for this season 2, but it was still a fun little thing to kind of rewatch and get reintroduced to. I think it was almost a year, not a full year, but it's been at least 6 months, I think, since that episode came out. Let's see what it says. February. So almost a full year since this episode had come out. And then the first time I watched it. So rewatching it a year later kind of makes sense that I forget a couple things, especially since I've only watched that. This is only the second time I watched it. But still, overall enjoyed it. I liked having the team go down and, be undercover. You get to see the mere Georgiou and how different she is from the Georgiou we saw in the first pilot episode of this universe. And I thought that was just kind of a fun little thing. They didn't really need to add it in there, but it was still fun and it kind of just add a little insight to her character. And then her character ends up kind of just leaving, and I'm like, well, I was hoping you'd be more of a recurring character. Now you're just walking out the show. And then next season, I guess we're getting some other cool characters, but it's still, I really enjoyed the Georgiou character played by Michelle Yeoh, right? I believe that's. But yeah, overall, I still enjoyed that. What else did I like about this episode in particular? Oh, we see the Klingons in our own solar system at one point, which I thought was pretty cool. It was a really cool effect. I love outer space effects, and that was really cool. And we get to see them, and we would do the zoom into our own planet to see that they're just not that far from Earth. Which I thought was really interesting. Then at the end, we see when they're retreating, we see the whole fleet of Starfleet just outside of Earth, because they were ready to protect it, and that was a cool little sight. I wish we got a little bit more of it, because I like to see spaceships. That's why I watch this stuff. I like spaceships. But yeah, what else did I have written down for this? Oh, Burnham being pardoned. I think that was a pretty foregone conclusion pretty early on in this season, so that wasn't much of a surprise, especially since I was rewatching it, so I kind of already remembered that. But yeah, it makes sense that she'd be pardoned finally, so that she can actually be part of Starfleet, not this kind of weird specialist. She can actually be the science officer and be part of the crew, and it's not as weird anymore. Even though it wasn't really weird, except for one episode, and then everyone kind of forgot that she was technically a criminal, not supposed to actually be right there. But that's neither here nor there. The only thing I didn't like about this episode in particular is it does end weirdly with Burnham's, when they're celebrating the crew as heroes, that part I don't really have a problem with, but Burnham's giving a speech during that, and I'm just like, she doesn't want to give a speech after getting their awards, I guess. It seems a little odd. I got they needed it for the show, and it makes sense in the show, but I'm just thinking about those people sitting at Stargate. Were they just sitting there listening to Burnham give a speech with her back to them? Is that how that went? I just need a little more context for it, but I get it was just a way to end the show. But yeah, what else did I have written down for this? Oh, when they jump into the cave on Kronos, I thought that was a really cool effect. And it went really easily, which I was like, oh, well, you guys could have played with that a little bit. You guys could have made it a little bit more trouble, but it makes sense at this point. Stamets says himself, he's jumped across into mirror universes, so jumping into a planet, that shouldn't be that hard. And he proves it because he hops in and out, no problem whatsoever. But yeah, what else do we have for this? Oh, overall, this episode was just kind of a fun kind of way to end the season, tying up a bunch of the loose ends, you know, ending the war in this kind of, you know, they were gonna commit genocide, and then they're like, no, here we'll just give it to the Klingons, and they can do it. They can threaten to do it themselves in order to unite. So like, it kind of all just wrapped up really nicely for them. I thought it's just like kind of like, yeah, you guys just had to threaten this one girl, and she just had to go then back to the Klingons and be like, hey, I'm gonna blow us all up. I'm king. I'm leader now. But I guess that's how this works. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this episode and this season. I'm excited to get on to the second season, which I believe premieres tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, I'm excited to get started on that. But be sure to let me know in the comments below your favorite parts about this episode or this season in general. I'm always curious to hear about that stuff. Thanks again for joining me today, and have a good one.